batsmen. This one's for all you bowlers out there. As Wasim and Simon have shown throughout their careers, good swing bowling can be utterly devastating. But what actually makes the ball swing? We asked Matthew Hoggard to investigate the science behind one of cricket's most complex arts.
I've made a career of swinging the cricket ball. I've come to Sheffield Hallam University to find out why a cricket ball swings and what are the outside factors that are going to affect it. Hi David.
Hiya.
Thank you for letting me come and explain everything swing orientated. Now I've got two balls here. I have a darker ball with a prominent seam and I've got a red ball with a less prominent seam. Now they're both 5.5 ounces. One's light red, one's dark red. Which ball would you pick to swing?
I would probably go for this ball here, slightly smaller with a slightly more raised seam. I think the truth is you could swing both balls.
Which is true, yes.
If the conditions were right and if your action was correct. But there's some interesting things happening here. I mean, I think the first thing about, you mentioned about the colour.
Yep.
Well, you know, swing bowling, it's really all about the interaction between the ball and the air. And the air doesn't really see colour. It sees shape, and it sees texture. So that's important. But I think the colour is a bit of a red herring. If you've got quite a prominent seam, it's going to change the airflow around either side of the ball, and that's what we need for swing bowling. We need effectively what I call turbulent flow on one side of the ball, and laminar flow on the other side of the ball.
You know, you're going to have to describe that now.
So what happens is the air comes along, it hits this side of the ball. This side of the ball is left to be smooth, and that the airflow is laminar. As the air moves over this side, the seam trips the airflow and it becomes turbulent. And because this side of the ball is also rough, actually that turbulence is maintained, and the airflow, what will happen is the airflow hits, and the airflow gets deflected off in this direction. And that means that the ball gets pushed in that direction towards the rough side.
I'm all set for swing. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. Will the ball swing, or do I have to wait for the clouds to come over?
Often when people talk about cloudy days or humid days, people say the air feels heavy. Now, that would make you think, well, that would be good for swing bowling because the ball would move more in the heavy air.
Yes.
Unfortunately, when you look at the science of it, that's not correct, because actually humid air is less dense than dry air. So in fact, the humidity, it actually offers less air density, and the ball should actually just travel straighter. So science tells us it's the opposite. In fact, really what you want is just a nice bit of dry air, and the ball should swing more.
What is the optimum speed to bowl a cricket ball to get it to swing the most?
Purely looking at the lateral movement of the ball in the air, sort of 65 to 70 miles an hour is probably when you're going to get the most swing. However, that's not necessarily the optimum for bowling, because you might want to vary that speed, you might want to go faster, because it's not just about the lateral movement of the ball.
Reverse swing is, in my understanding, if you have the shiny side for an outswinger, when you bowl and it's reversing, the ball will tend to go down and go the opposite way. Now, can you explain that to me?
We can understand this. Effectively, it only really happen at higher speeds. When the airflow hits the smooth side of the ball, it can't stay in this laminar flow regime. It goes turbulent. So it's turbulent on both sides of the ball, and that's because of the speed. But then, because we've got turbulent airflow on the smooth side and on the rough side, what actually happens is the roughness now acts against what it did before, and it goes in the opposite direction, and you get a force in the opposite direction.
Now, I've been lucky enough to play cricket all around the world. I've played in Johannesburg, where it's 2,500 feet above sea level, so it's at altitude. Does that have any bearing on swing?
Well, it will certainly have quite a large effect in terms of the density of the air. So the higher you go, the less dense the air becomes. Now, that's possibly very good if you're a batsman, because you can hit a ball for six easily, because the ball will just travel through the air faster and it won't slow down as much. For swing bowling, it's probably not, from a scientific perspective, it's not very good because the air is less dense, it has less of an effect on the ball, so the magnitude of the swing force that we'll get will be lower at altitude.
David, thank you very much for your time. You have blinded me with science. I think I need to go have a coffee and think about what you've just said.
Thanks very much to Matthew for doing that for us. Fascinating stuff, I'm sure you'll agree, guys. What did you make of all that, Wasim?
It was a bit complicated for me.
You were both paying very close attention, I have to say.
I was, but I'm all for science. But it's a very reverse swing is a very simple sort of theory we had as Pakistanis. If this supposedly I have a new ball in my hand, and first of all, for starters, it's called reverse swing. If I hold the ball like this, my wrist is locked. It means this ball will come into the right hander. The imaginary shiny side is here because it's a brand new ball. So you shine always where the bird is, a lesser sort of signature on here. And then reverse swing happens when the shiny sides come this side and ball will come again into the right hander like the other one. So that's a reverse swing. And obviously, if this side is slightly rougher, after 40 overs, if you see a test match happening today, England versus Australia at Nottingham, it's a dry wicket, it's a sunny day, the square is also dry, that matters as well to do the reverse swing. Because what happens after 35, 40 overs on this particular track, on this particular square on a sunny day, this rough side will get rougher. And obviously when you shine the shiny side, if you see Jamie Anderson, all the English bowlers, they hold the ball now like this. When they shine, they don't go like this.
Keeping it dry.
Because when the rough side gets smoother, reverse swing will disappear. So the rough side has to be dry and rough, and obviously the sunny side, you shine it all the time, it'll be shiny, so it'll be heavier. So it will go where the heavy weight is. I mean, this side, if this is a shiny side, it'll come in, and obviously you have to flick off the wrist as well when you release the ball. And for outswing, this side shine will come here, and my wrist will go slightly open, and then I flick it that way. So that's what I used to do with the reverse swing. I thought you had the same sort of technique?
Yeah, we just kept the ball as dry as we could. It's the key for reverse swing. You want to get guys who've got sweaty hands, just get them away. They can't touch them. Yeah. Literally, because you see lads now, they're throwing it as if they've never done it before because they're trying to keep the ball dry. And that was the key for us in 2005. And any time you bowl in a reverse swing is just to keep it dry. And I think it is because obviously say that's the shiny side and that's the rough side. Because this side is rougher, my take on it is the air passes over the shiny side quicker. So then obviously the ball angles in. And it's the same as if you hold it to go in conventionally, because the air passes over this side quicker, it goes away. And the biggest thing for me, I was chatting to Wasim earlier, and obviously he's one of the best that's ever done it in Manwaka, was you've got to get your length right. You know, people automatically think when you bowl in reverse swing, let's bowl full, let's try and blow the stumps out. But you've still got to bowl a conventional length, try and hit top of off, because that's when you can get your nicks, and then leave the fuller ball or the Yorker as a surprise ball. And I saw the Aussies, they were a little bit too keen to try and go through the batters yesterday with the in-swinging full ball. They should have just stuck to their length, sat back a little bit, and then left that as a surprise.
How about that for a masterclass from Simon Jones and Wasim Akram? Loving that. There you go. If you're thinking of trying a bit of swing bowling today, hope you've made notes. Sky Plussed it, rewind. Good stuff. Right, still to come.